JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, man killed at shop in St. Catherine. A man was shot dead on Sunday by unknown assailants while he was standing at a shop in St. Catherine. He has been identified as 55-year-old Denzel Stewart of Old Harbour Road, Spanish Town in the parish. The Spanish Town police said that about 10:30 p.m., Stewart was standing at a shop when he was pounced upon by armed men who opened fire, hitting him several times. Stewart was then taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police are investigating. 3 shot, 1 fatally, on Mountain View Avenue, teen among injured. A 16-year-old boy was among several persons shot by gunmen at a recreational center on Mountain View Avenue in St. Andrew on Saturday. Kajim Hutchinson, 23, was killed in the attack. The incident occurred about 11 a.m. Persons were gathered at the recreational center when men approached and opened gunfire. 3 persons were hit. Motorcyclists killed in crash in Clarendon. Pandemonium broke out on the Macney Main Road, not far from Kellets in Clarendon, after a motorcyclist died when his bike collided with a truck on Saturday morning. The deceased has been identified as 30-year-old farmer Simeon Jackson from Douglas Castle in St. Anne, near the border between that parish and Clarendon. The motorcycle was heading in the direction of Douglas Castle, while the truck was heading in the opposite direction when the collision unfolded about 11 a.m. The mangled wreck of the bike was partly stuck beneath the truck, indicating the severity of the crash. Persons living near the crash scene said that they were alerted by a relatively loud explosion. As news of the incident spread far and wide, several onlookers, including some relatives of the deceased, converged on the scene. One of the irate relatives reportedly damaged a section of the ill-fated truck, which eventually was taken to the Croftsdale police station in Clarendon. A number of police officers also descended on the crash scene amid rising tension. Some onlookers said the victim did not bleed, although he lost a leg and his head was crushed partly. Persons used dry branches to conceal the body. Some area residents spoke ill of the victim. Others spoke highly of him. "A good man, a respectable man," said a biker, who gave his name was Boise Gentle. He said that his bike, over the past 3 years, is usually repaired by the late Jackson. Gentle said his motorcycle was scheduled to be repaired by the victim a day after the tragic incident. He lamented that people usually drive too fast on this stretch of smooth roadway where the crash happened near a relatively deep corner. Visitor from the UK dies of COVID-19. A passenger who arrived in the island recently on a flight from the United Kingdom has become the island's latest COVID-19 fatality. The death toll now stands at 305. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the deceased is a 77-year-old man who lived in the UK. The ministry said the man was not among the 4 cases that tested positive for the variant strain of COVID-19. The country also recorded 43 new cases of the virus, bringing the total number of cases to 13,246. Of the newly reported cases, there were 17 males and 26 females, with ages ranging from 3 months to 89 years. The cases were recorded in St. Mary, 11, Kingston and St. Andrew, 9, St. James, 5, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Catherine, 4 each, Trelawney, Hanover, and Portland, 2 each. There were also 133 patient recoveries, bringing the total recoveries to 11,106. Argument leaves construction worker dead. Cabby to be questioned. The St. Anne police are to question a taxi operator who allegedly used his licensed firearm to fatally shoot a man during a dispute in Orange Hill, close to Brownstown in St. Anne on the weekend. The deceased has been identified as 23-year-old Delroy Trowers, a construction worker of Lower Buxton, St. Anne. Reports are that on Saturday, January 2, about 6:30 p.m., Trowers and the taxi operator had an argument over the placement of some of his bags on the belongings of other passengers in the trunk of the vehicle. Further reports said that the argument escalated when Chowers allegedly pulled a knife and attacked the taxi operator. The taxi operator reportedly took evasive action by discharging 2 rounds from his firearm, hitting Chowers. Chowers was assisted to the hospital, where he reportedly died while undergoing treatment. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. Party promoters among persons charged in St. Thomas and Portland for COVID breaches. 4 persons are to appear before the St. Thomas Parish Court on January 20 to answer charges of breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act. They were arrested during a police operation carried out at a party held in the Knots River District in the parish on December 30, 2020. Charged are promoters of the event, 35-year-old Letitia Brown, a businesswoman of Red Hills in Morant Bay, and 42-year-old Mark Mitchell, a laborer of a Seaforth address. Also charged are 60-year-old Henry Buddington, a mason of Knots River, and 43-year-old Donovan Smith, a carpenter of Virginia in the United States. The police report that between 9:40 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on the day in question, a team conducted an operation in the Knots River community where a party was being held. According to the police, about 250 persons were in attendance. The police say when they arrived, the majority of the attendees made haste to leave the venue. The event promoters and 2 others were arrested. In the meantime, 2 other men who were arrested on separate occasions on New Year's Eve are also facing charges for breaches of the COVID-19 protocols. The police said Delroy Minot was accosted along Miami Lane in Yallows, St. Thomas. He is also facing charges of disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and indecent language. Minot is to appear before the St. Thomas Parish Court on January 22, 2021. The other man is 42-year-old Stephen Taylor, a migrant worker of Long Road, Portland, who was accosted by the police along the Bath Main Road. In addition to the COVID breaches, Taylor was also charged with indecent language and disobeying a constable. He is to appear before the St. Thomas Parish Court on February 3, 2021. Over in Portland, 50-year-old Carlene Miller, a businesswoman of Shantytown, Berrydale District in Portland, has been arrested and charged for breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act in her community. Reports on the Port Antonio Police are that Miller was warned for breaching the Disaster Risk Management and Noise Abatement Acts about 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, January 3. The police say shortly after, about 11:35 p.m. on the same day, a team was on patrol in the area when they saw about 150 persons gathered at the said location. Miller was subsequently charged and is to appear before the Portland Parish Court at a later date. Senators paid 5 times parliamentary staff per sitting. The cries for some categories of parliamentary workers to be paid a decent wage are expected to get louder with new revelation that members of the upper house are paid a stipend of $53,000 per sitting and a similar amount for attending committee meetings. This is nearly 5 times the sum paid to orderlies for weekly wages. Late last year, Opposition Senator Lambert Brown made an impassioned plea for the wages and salaries paid to orderlies and answered writers to be improved this year. His remarks came after he researched and discovered that orderlies received from a basic minimum of $9,860 per week to a maximum of $11,156 per week, effective April 1, 2020. Brown had charged during the sitting of the Senate late last year that the compensation paid to the orderlies was woefully inadequate when compared to the stipend that senators receive for attending sittings. Information obtained from the Houses of Parliament revealed that there was a 211% increase in the stipend paid to senators for attending each sitting. This stipend, which moved from $17,000 in April 2016, was approved by Cabinet. According to Parliament, the amount was calculated at twice the rate of the highest board fees in the public sector. Orderlies are assigned a wide range of duties in order to facilitate the smooth running of the legislature. This category of parliamentary staff falls under the LMO TS2 group in the public sector. JPS closes Westmoreland office for repairs after weekend firebombing. The Jamaica Public Service JPS has closed its Savlamar Westmoreland office for repairs after it was firebombed on the weekend. Just after 1 a.m. on Saturday, January 2, the Westmoreland Fire Department was alerted that there was a firebombing at the premises located at 14 Great George Street. Firefighters responded and carried out cooling down operations. Preliminary indications are that there's damage to both internal and external sections of the premises. The Westmoreland Police and the Fire Department are investigating. JPS's Senior Vice President for Customer Services, Ramsey MacDonald, has condemned the firebombing. This is a criminal act which puts people and property in danger. We will be working with the security forces in an effort to quickly identify the perpetrators, he said. MacDonald said the JPS will also take the necessary steps to ensure the safety and the security of employees and property, even as it continues to provide service to customers. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.